It is time for my final 2025 NHL mock draft, and this year we're doing top 64 selections for the Hot Take Hockey mock draft, rounds 1 and 2. So give you some detail on the first 32 selections of the round 1, and also go over round 2 based on talking to people in the hockey world and just talking to people from different teams. And this is also a speed edition, so if you have a short attention span, perfect video for you, or even if you love hockey and want to watch a quick video, want to know everything about the draft, this is top 64 selections. So not just round 1, but also round 2. Let's get into it. Oh my, the New York Islanders are getting a generational type talent. On the back end, Matthew Schaefer thinks the game in a crazy way, the speed, the control of the puck. You're going to look at this guy in a few years and see him as a top 10 defenseman. The offensive explosion, this is going to change the New York Islanders organization. Number 2, I'm sticking with Michael Misa at the San Jose Sharks spot, but I just think there are a lot of rumors out there. Elliot Friedman just put it out there that there's rumors the Sharks could take Anton Frandel, but also admits that there's a lot of lies around this time of the year. I'm going to say Misa and Frandel go 2-3. We just don't know which order right now, but I'll stick with Misa, then Frandel. Mammoth taking Brady Martin. Oh my, there's so many rumors right now. I'll say this. The Mammoth could pick James Haggins. James Haggins is definitely the better skill. Where Brady Martin comes in is the character and the bite. What a marketing genius. Comparing himself to Sam Bennett, Tom Wilson, Matthew Nyes right at the draft combine before the draft. Oh, teams got excited. Brady Martin to the Utah Mammoth at number 4. It's going to be a surprise draft. There's going to be a lot of craziness. And number 5, the Preds have always wanted a first overall pick. James Haggins is that type of talent. I just can't see them passing on this guy at number 5. I could see him going earlier, but there are rumors right now that James Haggins could also fall, and I think that's going to be a massive mistake. Jake O'Brien, number 6 to the Philadelphia Flyers. OB. I saw Daniel Briere so many times at the Bulldogs Arena this year, and I just think when you look at the type of player that OB is, genius, can see so many things from the back of his head, his playmaking ability. I think O'Brien looked already like a star in the making at a young age. And as I said, I think between Daniel Briere and Keith Jones being at the arena multiple times, tracking this player throughout the year, I think a lot of the rumors are right. I saw it in person. Jake O'Brien to the Flyers at number 6. Number 7, the Bruins, Caleb Desnoyers. Moncton represent. Once upon a time ago, the Boston Bruins select Brad Marchand. Moncton represent. Caleb Desnoyers would be a great pick for the Boston Bruins at number 7. Overall, skill set and the two-way game, the face-off ability. He wasn't even healthy for most of the year, apparently, or half the year, apparently. So that's also a factor. Kraken picking Porter Martone. Another steal in the top 10. I have Porter Martone as like my 4th best prospect in this draft, but he could fall because of the position. It's crazy sometimes. I think you should always pick best player in the draft, but there are rumors right now that Porter Martone and James Haggins could fall. Porter Martone at number 8 to the Kraken would be a steal. The Sabres picking the big right shot defenseman. Don't overthink it. Radim Murka is a top 10 talent in this draft, and I think with his size and his mobility, that right shot defenseman, when you see the size of a guy that is 6'5", 6'6", up there, and he has the mobility that Murka has, pick him. Anaheim Ducks picking Roger McQueen. There was a Ryan Getzlaf comparison out there. I think Pat Verbeek could not resist. I could see him picking Murka if he's on the board because of that size and mobility, but if Roger McQueen is the next best option, I think he'll pick him. Jackson Smith to the Pittsburgh Penguins. You know what? Back and forth between Jackson Smith, Sean Aitchison, maybe the skill with Victor Eklund. I do think if Roger McQueen falls to number 11, the Penguins might do it. Jackson Smith, though, the overall better defenseman, the best one left on the board here, the 3rd best defenseman on the board. Jackson Smith to the Pittsburgh Penguins makes a lot of sense. Left shot defenseman, overall complete package, and he's going to Penn State. That's not too far of a drive for the Pittsburgh Penguins and Kyle Dubas. New York Rangers, we're going to see, guys. Make sure you guys get into the comments if the Rangers kept their pick or not. I'm just going to go safe here with Carter Bear. I think Carter Bear is a top 15 talent in this draft, so I think there's a good chance he goes somewhere between 11 and 15. Number 13, Red Wings picking Victor Eklund. I just think Eklund, the Swede. The Red Wings love their Swedes. So I'm going to go Victor Eklund at number 13 to the Red Wings. I think this is as far as he falls. I just can't see it any further than this. Blue Jackets, Kashawn Aitchison. Oh my, the physicality. Blue Jackets fans would love this guy. Had a great year with the Barrie Colts. Brings that explosion. And Jack Nesbitt as well. Explosive, big bodies here. We're talking about a 6'4" center for the Vancouver Canucks potentially. Nesbitt looked great in the OHL Top Prospects game. He had a fight. He had production. Nesbitt looked dominant on the ice there. I think the point production will come even more in full seasons. He definitely needs development, but I think whether he's a project or not, I think he could be a riser in this draft. Let's go to the next, which is the Montreal Canadiens with back-to-back picks. 16 and 17, Justin Carbonneau and Cole Reshny. I think based on the rankings of these players and the fact that Carbonneau is one of the best pure goal scorers with one of the best pure shots in this draft class, I think Carbonneau, hometown vibes, Montreal Canadiens pick Carbonneau. Cole Reshny, face-off vibes, one of the more underrated skilled centers in this draft class. The Montreal Canadiens would be laughing if they came out with these two guys, but do not be surprised if they go with physicality as well. I would look at Malcolm Spence here. I would also look at one of the defensemen, especially if a guy like Kashawn Aitchison still on the board. 18 Flames pick Braden Coots. I could also see them picking represent Calgary of the WHL, Kindle. So look out for Benjamin Kindle in around the latter parts of the first round. Malcolm Spence of the St. Louis Blues. I looked at the Blues' last couple selections, specifically last year. Defenseman. I think they go forward. Malcolm Spence plays that Armstrong-type hockey, whether it's Jake Neighbors, Dvorsky. He likes those kind of players. Blue Jackets, Lyndon Lakovich. Health status? Sure. Goal scoring? Yes. Size? Yes. 6'4", beast. Blue Jackets, if you draft a defenseman first, you expect a forward. But are the Blue Jackets the team that could draft a goalie here? I'll stick with Lakovich at number 20. Number 21, Benjamin Kindle. Such a smart player. I think Benjamin Kindle is a guy that the Sens have watched out for. And funny enough, teammate of Benjamin Kindle, Carter Yakemchuk. Keep an eye on Kindle in around this spot in the draft. Flyers picking Cameron Reed. I look at their forward prospect pool. I think they could add someone on the defensive side. Cameron Reed's IQ. Great season for the Kitchener Rangers. Predators picking Arizona State University represent Colin Porter, another very highly skilled, maybe slightly undersized. I wonder if the Preds, like they've done in the past, pick from NCAA. Kings picking Is Wozniak, right shot, big producer. I also look at what the Kings have done in the past. Also, I think there's a Kempe brother connection here. Just something I'm hearing. Blackhawks, Nesterzel. There's conversations. They met up with him, had a couple meetings. They've had their eye on him. Look out for Nesterzel at number 25. Number 26, the Nashville Predators select son of former NHLer Vernon Fiddler, Blake Fiddler. I think right shot, big 6'4" defenseman for the Edmonton Oil Kings. Keep an eye on Fiddler for the Preds here, especially if they pick maybe a more undersized player with the other selection later in the first round. We'll see what they do with their very early first-round pick, though. I think that might create a domino effect. Josh Ravensbergen, the goalie, goes at number 27 to the Caps. I just look at the Caps' future. Oh my, if you could lock up your future franchise goalie. I mean, I think the Caps have played it so well. The Ovi era here, finishing off strong, but then drafting for the next generation and the next era of Washington Capitals, which they've gotten guys like Cole Hudson and Ryan Leonard. Wouldn't you love to see them draft their future goalie? Jets picking Simon Wang. They already have Colby Barlow, prospect of the Oshawa Generals. They've definitely been watching the team this year. I look at Simon Wang, and I just think it's a project for sure, no doubt about it. And I wouldn't be surprised if he falls to the second round. But you know how some of these NHL teams operate. If you see a 6'5", 6'6" defenseman, and he's got some mobility and got that potential, sometimes it's hard to resist. Simon Wang, either late first-round pick or second-round pick, I think is going to go that way in this draft. Will Horkoff. Wow, another son of a former NHLer. Will Horkoff, son of Sean Horkoff. English is hard, folks. Henry Brusnevich, London Knight represent. I think Brusnevich, teammate of Dickinson, a couple guys there in that situation with the Sharks. I also could see him maybe, if the Flames get Brusnevich, that would be hilarious. Get a double. Flyers, Milton Gastrin. I think Milton Gastrin could be the type of player the Flyers like, just in terms of a little bit of a different style of game versus what they have. It's the two-way ability, but also some scoring and some potential. I think Milton Gastrin could be a good pick. Bill Zonin, beast. So hard to play against. 6'2", had a great year in the queue. Look out for Bill Zonin. And then just take a look at my second round. I only want to highlight a few picks here, so if you guys have any questions about other certain picks, let me know. But just to go over a few. Peyton Kettles, big defenseman, potential for the Seattle Kraken if they go forward with a couple of their other picks. Keep in mind, Clark Caswell is one of their draft prospects, and he plays for Swift Current. He is teammates with Peyton Kettles, so keep an eye on that. I also could see Seattle picking a goalie here if they get the opportunity, but if Ravensbergen and Ivan Kovic are off the board, which, as I have here, Ivan Kovic selected by Nashville with that first pick in the second round for them, I think that would be a great pick for the Preds. Logan Hesler, big defenseman, right shot, little NCAA action there. I look at Carter Amico, 6'5", right shot defenseman for the Buffalo Sabres. I think they might take a crack at a couple of those right shot guys to try to fill that need. Looking at Cameron Schmidt, one of the better skill sets in terms of underrated players in this draft, but he's just super undersized. So maybe a team gets a steal in him in the second round. New York Islanders probably go defenseman over forward. I would look at a guy like Pickford, who got, I think he's about 19 now, so the Vancouver Canucks, he's a two-time champ in junior, definitely been one of the most improved players in junior hockey. He could go in the second or third round in this 2025 NHL draft. Eric Nielsen, son of an NHLer as well. Vilchinski to the Montreal Canadiens. I think he's also like 6'4" defenseman, teammates last year with Demidov. So there's a bit of a connection there. The Montreal Canadiens potentially watching him, so just keep an eye on that. Riker Lee for the Boston Bruins. That would be a steal for them, I believe. Mason West, the guy who was deciding between football and hockey, could be the story of the draft if he goes to the Minnesota Wild, his hometown team. I think everything that Matthew Schaefer has overcome, he probably stands at the top for the powerful story. Mason West could be one of those feel-good hometown stories. Christian Epperson, another guy that was kind of passed on and just hasn't been talked about until this past year, and he blew up. If the Sharks pick Misa at second overall, Epperson could be a selection just because they've obviously watched the Spirit this year. I'm sure a lot of teams did, and Epperson teammates with Misa. Leafs, Owen Griffin. I just watched what Owen Griffin did in the OHL playoffs this year. The Leafs like those kind of players. They picked Easton Cowan because of that, because it was a guy that could step up in the playoffs. Owen Griffin, could he be a similar pick for the Toronto Maple Leafs? I think because of how well he played in the playoffs, he was a bit of a riser towards the end and I would say he was on the radar now for top two rounds. I think the Leafs should pick Owen Griffin, teammate of Ben Danford. A few other ones. Medvedev, goalie of the London Knights. The Flyers have a couple London Knights prospects. They definitely got a quick look at him this year, or maybe a long look. Then a few others just to close it out. If you guys, like I said, if there's other guys I didn't talk about, get into the comments and I'll discuss. I definitely have more knowledge on the CHL, OHL, etc., and then people I've talked to. But Luca Romano, Tyler Hopkins, talk about OHL represents. Definitely guys I could see going in the second, third, or fourth round. And Adam Bennick, USHL represent, could make a jump into a different league this year. We'll see. But thank you guys so much for watching. Give me your thoughts on this mock draft, and any other questions, drop it down below, and I will get to you. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you. See you on the next one.